But to just not show up at all, it's a pretty dick move, don't you think? Pretty dick move. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Big Dane podcast. How was your weekends? How about the Super Bowl? Well, I'm recording on Friday, so I really don't know how the Super Bowl is going to be. So we'll see who wins. So yeah. Did you have a good week otherwise? No? It wasn't that good? Oh my god. I'm so sorry to hear that. But I have some fun stuff going on. Actually, first I'm going to tell you about a quick update on my FODMAP elimination diet. So the other week I was supposed to start reintroducing the foods for, it's basically like the next phase, but because I had an IBS attack, it was only like, at that point, like a week before from when I spoke with my dietitian. So it's just been, there's a lot been going on, a lot of stress happening, and that I've been carrying. So I'm pretty sure it had to be stress. I had actually made some popcorn. Yeah, and I even made it like the day before. It was just literally like all the kernels, and what I like to do is just like throw it in, toss it in like olive oil first, some salt, pepper, and then put it in a brown paper bag. Boom, done. Stick it in the microwave. That's it, because I don't want all that other crap that's in it, just especially with doing the elimination diet, so I figured this is like the best way. And then yeah, I made lunch and then made some popcorn and had to go upstairs. Yeah, it was so great. So anyway, when I told my dietitian what was going on, how it's been stressful, things like that, she said, why don't we do the low FODMAP, still the first stage basically, another 2 weeks. So I speak with her technically next Friday, but like if you're listening to it on the Tuesday, it's really this Friday. So yeah, so then it'll be nice to, really continue on and see what happens and see what I'll be reintroducing. Yeah. Cool stuff. Okay, so aside from that, I am doing a giveaway. Yeah, crank your volume right now so you can tune in. But this actually just started on Saturday, kicked off on the 6th. It's going to run through Sunday the 14th, okay? And what it is, guys, it's a giveaway and a collaboration with your CBD store in Lansdale, okay? Because your CBD store is franchised, so you want to make sure you get all those updates, follow your CBD store Lansdale, it's next door basically to North Wales where I grew up. So hey yo. So yes, those were the keywords there, and what we're going to be giving away are the 2 bath bombs, all right, some honey sticks, you're going to have four of them, chapstick, everyone needs a good chapstick, some magnets so you can just post all your great stuff on the fridge, and then you'll slap it on there with your CBD store. Okay, there's going to be some topical relief cream, just a couple of samples of those. Lemon tincture, and lemon tincture broad spectrum. So you're saying like, what are you saying, Big Dane? Well, it's a little small container, okay, and then kind of little like droplets, kind of like an eyedropper. So you just, twist it off and then grab the liquid, the solution, what you need, and then drop it under your tongue. Okay, you're gonna want to let it sit there for a little bit. All right. But I will say that this tincture, because it's the broad spectrum, there is no THC. So it's non-psychoactive. This is not going to be like messing with your mind and you're going to like feel in outer space. Like, no, it's not going to happen. So, especially with the giveaway, I wanted to make sure everyone felt comfortable with all that jazz. So just, yeah, we got you. And the tincture, it's just basically how the medication, like how the solution is like being made, basically, just like a dissolving process. So that's all that means. So nothing crazy. Okay, so super excited. A lot of good stuff. I mean, who gives away so much stuff, right? Well, here it is. So now you're really gonna want to like turn up the volume, okay? Because here are the rules if you haven't seen it yet. And don't worry, I will be, posting that again, repost, reminding you guys. So again, this is only gonna last like just roughly, a week, give or take. So you're gonna want to like the post that I put on my Instagram, the Big Dane Podcast, okay? You're going to want to follow your CBD store, Lansdale. Yeah, make sure you get the one that's the Lansdale one and not like CBD store official. So yeah, and then after that, you're gonna tag a friend in the comments. One of those comments now is one entry. You can enter literally as many times as you want. Pretty cool, right? And yeah, so it's gonna end on Sunday the 14th, Valentine's Day. This is a Valentine's Day special. And sorry for any Canadian folks or any European folks, whoever, but this is open to only US residents because, yeah, okay. Now, one thing that we're also doing here too, if you go to the CBD store in Lansdale, like the actual store, like you're driving down Main Street, you're gonna pop in, you wanna see what this is all about, really take a look, okay? You will get 10% off. What? Yeah, 10% off when you buy at the store. So make sure you get your butt in there because then maybe like what you want is gonna be gone. It won't, but it could be. But yeah, so when you get there, just make sure you said the Big Dane sent you, Big Dane Podcast, anything with the Big Dane, so they know, yo, I know what you're talking about, I'm picking up what you're putting down, yeah. Boom, you're checking out, 10% off. You have all these great products, yeah. I will say, I did try some of the topical relief cream, a little sample. Yeah, as you can see, this is not so good, my tendonitis, but I'm interested to try more of it because today actually feels like I can bend it a little bit better. So like before I was just like, I can't do anything, but putting it on top and all throughout the whole week and a little bit of the week prior, that I feel like it's helped more of like a little bit of the mobility a little bit. So Yeah. Okay. All right. Enough of the giveaway. I think you guys got it. Don't worry. If you missed all that, you can, rewind, pause, rewind, and you have my post to check out if you forget any of the rules. So no worries. Okay. So today, getting into some juicy stuff of my past, some fun, well, not so fun, dating stories. Like dating stories, dating gone wrong. Of course, random things like that just kind of happened to me. So this all happened any time between the years of like fall of 2014 when I first lived here in Conchi through part of 2018. So now part of that journey, I was in Havertown, but so a lot of this is mostly when I first lived here. Okay. So now I will say it wasn't fun. It was kind of like odd, like being like single, and again, where like, what am I doing? How do I do this? Having been in a long-term relationship / long relationship period for 5 years. So it's like, how do I even begin to do this? And I remember first, like, my friends were like, just go on Tinder, let's set you up on Tinder. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? So, but I really tried a lot of different ones, and like some were good, some weren't. I would like go through cycles of 6 months on, 6 months off. Maybe I can find someone at the bar. Nope, I can't. Let me go back on, and it's like this back and forth, and it's tiring. It's tiring, yeah. Especially like, I don't know, then you have to be careful, like say you did go on a date, here in country, there's, I don't know, it's easy to run into people that maybe you already dated. Oops, definitely have done that. And yeah, so it was just like, it was quite the journey, because guys are real dicks. Yeah, sorry guys, I know there's some of you, oh my God, what am I saying? There are some of you out there that are good, right? But a lot just don't have it together. They're like too afraid to talk to women, so they stand you up because they're so scared. They don't even want to say like, oh, I can't make it. I'll get into that in a minute, but that's just kind of like the things that have happened. Okay, sorry, I feel like there's just like water or something like on my lip. So yeah, so one of the dates that I was on, so this was actually a second date. Yeah, I was like, yeah, let's do a second date. No, I'm kidding. I enjoyed my time on the first date, so I'm like, yeah, let's do a second date. Okay, so did a second date, and it was at a boathouse. And I remember that night we met late I think it just had to do with his schedule. He wasn't able to meet early, and when I mean early, either like right after dinner or like right before dinner, maybe like 5, 6 o'clock, something like that. But here we actually ended up meeting at 8, which are probably like, that's not late. But I don't know, a lot of the other dates I'd been on was earlier, and maybe we would have something to eat, maybe we wouldn't, so I was like, all right, sure, I'm available at 8 o'clock. So I remember I got like one drink, and then I started to notice he kept going to the bathroom. Now ladies, listen up here, because this is key. If your date continuously goes to the bathroom, this is not a GI problem. No, this is like a bigger problem. Okay. Because I don't even think had many drinks at all, maybe like 1 or 2 drinks. Like you don't need to empty your bladder. Like your bowels are fine. Like we went on a first date, like whatever, right? Well, yes, this is a red flag is what we call it. And by now it was like kind of like the end of the date, and then we were walking outside, he's walking me back, and I think at this point like we were walking like just past like Lucky Dog, like going away from Fayette. Okay, so I was like, just because you know when something's off, so I'm gonna ask. Yeah. So I said, are you okay? Like, are you feeling okay? And he's like, yeah, no, like, so, and he just started talking about like how he recently had shingles and was taking like pain medication and like all this stuff. And I'm like, are you serious? Because I've had shingles. I have a scar on my side here, but it was like when I was like 10 years old. So I'm just like, all right. And then he like, you know, continues to tell me about it and whatever. And here he had like his pain medication on him. And you know what he asked me? He asked me if I wanted any pain medication. Yeah, sign me up. Dude, get the hell out of here. Like, now I'm like sprinting home because I'm like, who is this crazy person? So, needless to say, didn't have a third date, no. Like, this is the stuff that goes on. You have to watch out. My gosh. People. So that was one. Okay. So now I remember being on, I'm really trying to remember which app this was. Maybe it was, what's the fish one? It's something, find your soul fish. Fish, food, no, I don't know it. I'm gonna kick myself after this because now I'm like, what was the site? Fish. Okay, well, regardless, I was on that fish dating site and, you know, had it set up to meet, you know, must have been a Friday or Saturday night. And yeah, we were gonna meet at Boathouse because where else are we gonna go? No, I mean, there are other places, but it happened to be the same place. And I'm pretty sure I had like confirmed with him just because I didn't hear anything and it like a couple of days went by. So I just like wanted to make sure like, hey, are we still on? Or like, what are we doing, right? And yeah, so I got in there, you know, on time. Usually like always on time. That's just kind of, you know, who I am, how I grew up. Like, you need to be like on time for stuff. So and then I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna get a beer, you know, just wait a little, you know, maybe it's parking. Yeah, so I get a beer, get a draft, and hanging out, kind of like, I'm kind of near the section where they have like the games like in the front, like the darts or whatever. Pretty sure there's darts there, yeah. So I'm just like waiting, just kind of like looking around. Now I'm like just people watching. Now I'm like looking at my watch. I'm like, all right, you know, it's 7:10 and we were gonna meet at 7. So I'm like, all right. And I kept like checking the app because we didn't exchanged numbers, I don't think, because it, you know, we had just met, so it was just like, okay, I'll just like meet you there, whatever. So now, I don't know, it's just like when you're waiting, you start to get a feeling, and even kind of leading up to that point, just not having that confirmation. I was like, oh yeah, like, hey, we'll meet there at 7. And I'm pretty sure he also, you know, wasn't far away, like was just like in Villanova, so it doesn't really take that long to get here. So car trouble, I don't believe it. So now it's 7:15, and I thought, he's not coming. He's not showing up. This idiot. And I just chugged the rest of my beer, and I called up my friend Paige because I knew they were at a friend's house, just hanging out. So I'm like, well, looks like I'm going there to hang out and enjoy the night and not like freaking get stood up. Like, come on, at least have the courtesy to say, hey, like, I actually don't want to meet up for whatever reason. But to just not show up at all, it's a pretty dick move, don't you think? Pretty dick move. I mean, why? Did you get off on that? Wow. Wow, okay. Cool. That's so cool. Why don't you tell me again? Oh wait, you can't because you're so afraid to reach out and say, hey, I'm not gonna make it. Yeah. So, and I remember at that point, thinking back to all the phone updates, right? And the software updates of the iPhone. And so the emoji for the middle finger wasn't quite there yet. And I thought, if only I had this emoji. All I want to do is just like, wow, you suck. Like, and just send that middle finger emoji. Yeah. I'll show him. So not so fun. So has anyone else gotten stood up? I'm sure you have. I mean, who hasn't? So this other one, okay. This was, okay, so I'll give you the backstory real quick. And this is funny too, because Paige was with me. So Paige and I went out. We were at Conchi Corner Tavern. CCT. Does anyone else say that? CCT, or is it just like me, Paige, and her husband, and some other close friends? So we were there. I don't know why it was just us, but it was. Maybe Jeff had a gig or something. Him and his friends, like, were in a band. They don't play anymore because they're old. No, I'm kidding, they're not old. They're the same age, basically. But no, they have like kids and stuff. So anyway, God, there's something in my eye. So, so yeah, it was just her and I, we're hanging out, we're having drinks, we're having a good time. And, you know, she mentioned to me, she's like, oh, look at the bartender. Like, oh, he's kind of cute, you know? And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, you dress yourself up, and by the end of the night, she's like, here, take this napkin. I was like, I don't have a pen. Who has a pen? So she had a pen in her purse, or I think we probably grabbed it there, like right off the counter, because people were like signing their checks, you know, checking their bill out. I'm like, all right, I'm closing my tab, you know. So I'm like putting my like number down and put like my first name, and then, you know, start texting, things like that. And then before you know it, we are setting up our first date. So I'm like, wow, look at this, look at me, you know, and Paige being a great wing woman. And we were gonna meet in Center City, like when I was at my last, or 2 jobs ago, at CMI, and I was working in the city that day, like, because I would go down there like every Wednesday, so we just kind of set it up for that just to make it easier for everyone. And we were gonna meet at Tria, so yeah, I mean, it was like very close to like my office there. Office was 20th and Market. This, I think, was maybe like 20th and Walnut, maybe it actually wasn't as far back, but you get the idea. So I didn't have to walk that far, and was just texting a little bit back and forth. And then he was saying like he was still held up at work, and I'm like, this isn't happening. And because he was being pretty responsive, I really thought he was gonna show up. Imagine that. And he kept saying like, oh, I need to go home and change and this and that. And I'm like, change for what? Like, where are we going? We're literally like having a bite, having a drink or two. I've already seen what you look like. This is not like a blind date, you know? So, and then I was like, nah, dude, nah. Just come on down. I think he was coming from Delaware, I want to say. So, but for some reason, and at the time I didn't know, but he just kept insisting, like, oh, I have to go home, I have to go home. And so then by the time all that happened, like, I had already ordered food for myself because I'm like, I've like waited so long now. It's probably been like an hour, and I was like already committed basically because I thought that I was already committed now because you know, I had in my mind, like, I'm going to catch the next train at this time and this and that, because that's how I was basing my time to get home and everything. So because he kept, you know, just saying anything he could, like, not to drive over, that I thought, all right. And then the waitress, oh my gosh, she's like, so, because I told her, like, oh, like, I have a date and this and that, and I'm like, yeah, he said he's like running late. And then she could, you know, as the time goes on, like, your waitress or your waiter is like, so what's the deal here? And then I like told her like what happened, and like she felt bad, so like they paid for my drinks. Yeah. And yeah, it had like a little flatbread or something, and it was like so good. But it was just like so annoying because I'm like, how is this happening again? So I was just like so annoyed. And then later I found out that night why he was staying at work so late is because he lost his job. Yeah. So I guess he felt awkward like telling me that. I don't know, but dude, I don't care what your situation is. This is not like, oh, poor guy, poor bartender guy. No, and you know why? Because then shortly after, now I'm on Snapchat, since I had him saved like in my phone, like with his number, now his number is tying with his Snapchat account. Doesn't he have a girlfriend? Oh my God, look at that. Wow, you idiot. You're gonna drag me through all this bullshit? I was so pissed. I was like, oh, so you had a girlfriend when we were supposed to have our date? Oh, wow. Yeah, it's real good. Real smooth. So yeah, there it is. There's a couple of my dating stories that just kind of stick in my brain because that's how bad they were. Yeah. So how about anyone else? Who was with me? Who has some real good, juicy dating stories, huh? No? All right, well, just send me a little message. You can go to the Big Dane podcast.com/contact, and you can contact me, the Big Dane. All right, but if you just want to like tune in to the episode, then just stay on the site and just go to the podcast section and choose your favorite platform from there. All right, everything's there, so whatever you prefer to listen on, that's wonderful. I have it there. And just to give you a heads up, I'm literally in the works. I don't know if you saw my story from the other day of uploading all the YouTube. It's such a process because I have to like make a static image and the audio like into basically a video file. And so it's just another extra step to do and all that. So hey yo, all right. And if you didn't hear the first part of this episode, look out for the giveaway. It's going to be with your CBD store in Lansdale. So that is running through the 14th. So just look at my Instagram account. All the information is going to be there, all the rules. So hey, good luck. And I hope you have a wonderful week.